Greetings everyone and welcome to Coffee Black, where the Voyager adventures continue on YouTube. I'm your host, Captain G, and this is the channel where you get your refill of everything Star Trek Voyager related, from trivia, news, reviews, and more. So before I talk about today's topic, I'd like to encourage new viewers to subscribe to the channel, also check us out on X, formerly known as Twitter, and visit our Facebook page for more Voyager content. This video will be my breakdown for Star Trek Prodigy Season 2, Episode 10, The Devourer of All Things, Part 2. Computer Access File, Episode 10, Alpha and Enhanced View Screen. The episode starts with a shot of one of the Loom creatures before transitioning back to Wesley's safe house. The cadets ask for an explanation of where they are, and he tells them it's a 1960s themed facility used by the travelers to train their field agents called supervisors, who work in other time periods. Wesley tells the cadets they're going to wait for the Loom to move on so they can travel back to his vault so he can finish his calculations. He also warns them that while the armbands do protect them from the Loom's ability to stop time, it won't protect them from the Loom attempting to consume them. Even worse, Wesley reveals that anyone consumed by the Loom is completely erased from history. Meanwhile, on Voyager, Janeway assembles an away team made up of Commander Tysus and an ensign. The Doctor gives them all an armband similar to Gwen's to protect them against temporal tampering. Majel insists on going on the mission, stating her telepathic link to Zero would be helpful, and Janeway agrees after Tysus vows to protect her, swearing on the blood of his ancestors at the Wall of Heroes. A reference to the same wall was made by Commander Shran in the Enterprise episode United. The away team beams into the ruins, and after briefly scanning the area, they're attacked by the Loom creatures. Time begins to slow down, and the ensign of the away team is snatched by the Loom creature and erased from the timeline. Tysus tosses a grenade to buy them time and runs away with Majel. Tysus calls for an emergency beam out, but Majel chooses to stay and removes her comm badge to prevent herself from being beamed out. Tysus tells Janeway that the ensign was lost, but she has no memory of the lost crew member. Back in the ruins, Majel discovers the vault door and enters. She reaches out to Zero telepathically, and for a brief moment, Zero can hear her. Majel hears the Loom creatures coming and wedges the vault door shut and proceeds to use Wesley's computer panel to try and contact Zero. Wesley is shocked to receive a phone call from Majel, asking for Zero and needing help as the Loom grows closer to breaking in. Wesley opens a hidden computer console to monitor what's happening in their absence. The computer is identical to the computer used by the time traveler Gary 7 in the original series episode Assignment Earth. Not only is this a great visual Easter egg, but it also confirms that Gary 7 was involved with the travelers, either as a traveler himself or one of their previously mentioned field agents known as supervisors. The Loom creatures break in and close in on Majel. Wesley says he's sorry, but he can't risk putting the others in danger to save her. Dal rushes over to the screen and pushes a button that opens a portal that drops Majel into their hideout, and she lands in Zero's lap. Majel examines Zero's new form, and the two have a bit of a moment. The reunion is short-lived as Loom creatures begin trying to enter the hideout. Wesley opens yet another hidden door that has a portal. The cadets all enter the portal, and it takes them back to the ruins. The group runs towards the Infinity, only to witness it being destroyed by the Loom creatures. The group is surrounded by the Loom, and Wesley says he's out of ideas, just in time for Voyager to appear in the sky above. Janeway begins firing phasers at the Loom creatures, taking their attention away from the cadets. The creatures take off upward towards the ship in mass droves, and the cadets run back to the ruins with the hopes that the destruction will allow Wesley the time he needs to finish his calculations. Janeway and the bridge officers watch in horror as the Loom creatures enter the ship right through the temporal shields. They fire phasers with no effect, and Janeway orders everyone off the bridge. By the time she exits the turbolift, everyone that was with her on the bridge initially was consumed by the Loom. Meanwhile, in sickbay, the Doctor hails Janeway, saying he doesn't have enough temporal bands for the crew because he only made enough for the away team. He then exclaims that he's a doctor, not an assembly line. A Loom creature enters sickbay, and the Doctor stands between it and the Nova Squadron cadets and tells them to run. In an act of defiance, the Doctor sprays the creature with the hypospray, and the creature swings at him, knocking off his mobile emitter. He then rematerializes on the holodeck. The Nova cadets run into the shuttle bay, and they find the Tellarite counselor hiding. A loom creature follows the cadets into the shuttle bay, and the counselor stands between them and the creature. Suddenly, a shuttle behind them hovers upward, revealing Janeway inside. She fires phasers set to the same phase variance as the creature, causing discomfort and enraging the creature and the others on the ship. Janeway flies out of Voyager with the creature in pursuit, and the rest of the creatures leave Voyager. While in a free fall, Janeway does a maneuver in the shuttle and says that Tom Paris taught her that maneuver. The creature collides with the shuttle, causing them both to crash into the ruins. Tysus attempts to hail Janeway, and she emerges from the wreckage with the creature seemingly crushed by the shuttle. Inside the ruins, Wesley attempts to make calculations for the 6 cadets to travel and has them stand in an order and asks them to stay still. Jangum is skeptical and says he's not sure this technology won't scramble his genes like a Jabalian omelet, a subtle reference to Jabalian cuisine mentioned a few times on Voyager with food items like the Jabalian fudge cake and this Jabalian berry salad. Wesley warns the cadets not to look into the stream of light or they might see their future. Dal ignores the warning and sees a disappointing glimpse of his future self seemingly giving up on being captain. Wesley says there's something off in the calculations, some type of variable he didn't account for. Zero becomes fearful and Magella recites a Vulcan proverb to Zero saying, "Together we can become greater than the sum of both of us." This is a reference to the Vulcan philosopher Sirach and a physical recreation of him that spoke these words in the original series episode The Savage Curtain. Wesley scans Magella, confirming that all 7 cadets need to be together to help create the temporal outcome needed to rescue Chakotay, send the protostar to the Diviner's Mine, and save the universe. The vault door opens, revealing Janeway in her classic gray tank top, holding a phaser rifle. In many ways, this is a fun Easter egg referencing the Voyager episode Macrocosm and the 2-part episodes Year of Hell, both of which Janeway discarded her uniform shirt and sported her gray tank top. Janeway expresses her relief that the cadets are okay and is also shocked to see Wesley crush her. She tries to have the group beam aboard Voyager before the loom creatures come, but they all insist they have to enter the portal to fix the timeline and rescue Chakotay. Janeway is resistant but says she trusts them and watches the 7 cadets enter the portal. Wesley creates a second portal and drops Janeway back on Voyager just before the loom break into the vault. Wesley musters up as much energy as possible to send a massive shockwave that expands through the room, the entire structure, and the entire planet, leaving nothing behind but planetary debris as Janeway and the Doctor watch in shock. Elsewhere, the cadets awake on a sand dune, and Dal looks up to see their long-lost ship, the Protostar. The episode's end reveals a man sitting on the saucer hull of the Protostar, and it is revealed to be a weary, bearded Chakotay. And there you have it. That is my breakdown and list of Easter eggs for episode 10. Personally, I found this episode to be fantastic. Probably my favorite episode of the entire season so far. There were so many great references and Easter eggs, plenty of action, plenty of really cool twists that kept me surprised. Just overall, parts 1 and 2 were really, really great, and 2 was like the icing on the cake for me. So I'm going to go ahead and give my rating, and my rating for this episode is 9 coffees out of 10. Hope everyone enjoyed the video. If you did, please drop a like to support the channel, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Take care. Live long and prosper.